Tzu Chi provides aid to wildfire victims in Bolivia who are also suffering from COVID-19. In the Philippines, a nurse at an orphanage turned to Tzu Chi for help correcting a cataract in her right eye. I'm Sean Scanlan. This is DaAi Headlines. Let's get started. Bolivia is not only suffering from COVID-19, but also wildfires. Thankfully, Tzu Chi helped 200-some families with food assistance. Here's more.
2020, a year of uncertainty. On top of the invasion with COVID-19, fires tore through South America's Bolivia. The fire has not been completely put out, but the government is already busy surveying damages. The mayor of the city is in the helicopter headed for the disaster zone and is on the phone with the public charity organizations arranging for relief assistance. Tzu Chi's contact point in Bolivia received a call from the government and prepared 208 packs for the recipients. As the disaster zone is still a bit dangerous for civilians to enter, the items will relate to the military for distribution.
The fire happened in our city's poor area. You have been so quick to lend a helping hand so that families may solve their immediate problems. On behalf of them, I thank you.
Besides aiding the fire victims with relief items, Tzu Chi has continued to provide pandemic relief. Two humanitarian aid events in October was filled with the gratitude of the mayor of Santa Cruz.
I want to thank Master Chen Yan for bringing happiness to the citizens of Santa Cruz. She is providing us with unlimited love, and thank you to the Tzu Chi Foundation for extending assistance when we need it most.
Thank you for helping so many of us who need it. May God bless you and give you the strength to help more people in need.
Each family received 37 kilograms worth of aid items. And it is hoped that this love from Tzu Chi from all over the world will help the survivors get through this tough pandemic time.
One New Shoot Scholarship recipient is Xiang Yujie, who is in grade 6 as her father passed away last year due to cancer. She helps with housework and she also takes care of her brother, who has multiple disabilities. Take a look.
Collecting clothes and washing the dishes, Xiang Yujie, who studies in grade 6, does housework efficiently. Her father suffered from cancer last year. She cannot bear her mother to take care of the family alone, so she always helps with the housework.
When her father was ill, I didn't have time to cook at home. I didn't even have time to prepare, so I told her to make dumplings or cook instant noodles.
Xiang Yujie's brother suffers from multiple disabilities as she takes on the responsibility to look after him. Being caring and understanding, Xiang Yujie got the Filial Piety Award of the Tzu Chi New Shoot Scholarship. At the ceremony in Sanchong district, Xiang Yujie, besides being the scholarship recipient, has another identity.
I want to be a volunteer because I want to help others. I feel happy when I help others.
I am close with Tzu sisters, and I feel better. I will start paying back to society with my efforts.
Both the mother and daughter want to help others. Xiang Yujie, starting from volunteering, has made her first step on doing good deeds. Although her father has passed away, the kindness of the daughter is for sure witnessed by the Father in heaven.
In Sanchong, New Taipei City, one New Shoot Scholarship recipient is Chen Huixin, who is in the 6th grade of elementary school. Her family suffered financial difficulties due to the pandemic, and despite this, Huixin remains very hardworking and filial. Take a look.
Chen Huixin is doing housework diligently. This is her daily routine after finishing homework.
When I'm busy, she will help me take care of her little sister and prepare formula milk for her to drink and change her diaper. She will also help collect and fold the clothes. She will help me wash the dishes after finish eating. When I tidy up the house, she will also help.
She became so sensible because her father was having unpaid leave due to the epidemic. Later, the financial difficulty of her family was relieved after receiving Tzu Chi's subsidy. Thus, she is especially able to understand the hard work of her parents.
Help share some housework, otherwise I'm afraid they will be too busy and very tired.
Huixin is very well behaved. Every time we go to visit them, we always see her assisting her mother in taking care of her sister. So we want to give this child some encouragement. That's why we commended her to be Filial Piety Award.
Huixin's well behavior was noticed by the volunteers, who recommended her for the Filial Piety Award of the Tzu Chi New Scholarship. On the day of the award ceremony, her father and sister accompanied her to receive the award.
Tzu Chi volunteers are very nice. They will help us and the people in difficulty. I also want to be as great as they are to help others.
Speaking of her wish, Chen Huixin is raised up with love. It is believed that she will walk more steadily as she grows.
18-year-old Chen Huixin lives in Jianghua and was raised by his grandparents. He grew up with 3 younger brothers and sisters. Even though his family is poor, he majored in interior design. He's one of the winners of Tzu Chi's New Shoot Scholarship this year. Here's more.
When turning it over and cut, my hands will be so sore and shake.
His hands are trembling, and his hair is gray. He is 68, which should be the age of retirement.
I have to do it to make a living, even though I have sore hands. It cannot make much profit. I can only earn very little for this flip and cut.
The 6 grandparents and grandchildren sit outside the front door of their house to do the hard work together. Because of the stop flipping work, the grandma got trigger finger and need to have surgical treatment.
I'm also full of gratefulness. My grandchildren comfort me and ask me not to worry. They will make money when they grow up. I have been suffering a lot. My daughter-in-law has gone, and my son abandoned himself, so I have to take care of the whole family by myself.
I don't want
This family has financial difficulty, but the grandchildren are all well behaved. Especially the eldest grandson Taiyuan is very outstanding. He specialized in interior design with excellent results because he has a dream.
I want to help my grandpa and grandma fulfill their wish to renovate this place so they can live a comfortable life.
Taiyuan is very filial and always help with the housework.
My grandma is working too hard, so I want to help as much as I can.
He is a responsible brother and always helps teach his younger siblings with their homework.
There is a square under the letter T. Press it longer and you can choose many things.
He has complained about his hard life before because he saw grandpa and grandma work very hard and learned to bear the responsibilities.
Under this adversity, he's able to work hard and doesn't give up. This is because our Tzu Chi's brothers and sisters care for the family.
He doesn't give in to fate and wants to change it by himself.
I think it's amazing and admirable for grandpa and grandma to raise 4 of us. It's not simple and not easy. I'm grown up and almost old enough to work for the family. Please endure a little more.
Tzu Chi collaborated with local governments to make home visits to Tzu Chi scholarship recipients, this time visiting 45 disadvantaged families in Taipei City and Ximen County, sending care to 53 students. Take a look in our report.
The home of tangerines, but during harvest season, fruit growers are depressed. Living in remote areas is tough, as city volunteers in Taipei City made a long journey to visit a family. Through trains, vehicles, and walking, volunteers travel with silence, afraid of disturbing the peaceful township. The wife is blind and the husband became handicapped due to construction blasting.
这只手也是扎的吗？哦。
Every household tough situation only gets worse. 7-year-old Xiaochang lives with his grandmother as he eats rice with chili sauce or pickles.
这是个碗柜啊。
这是衣柜，又是碗柜。
碗被我弹出来了。
哦。74年的，74年的表啊。哎，你看那。
这个被窝是74年的。
Even the bed sheets are a 46-year-old property belonging to the grandmother. The conditions in the house show the family is facing financial difficulties.
We borrow money or go into debt to pay for expense. We pay a lot and we owe plenty to others.
Of course I think about my mother, but just thinking doesn't do anything.
Before volunteers' departure, colored pencils and fruits are given to Xiaochang, creating a truly moving moment.
可以画画。
他说没有彩色的笔，他喜欢画彩色。
这里有苹果，有香蕉。
你有多久没吃过苹果啦？
好像没吃的，没吃过。
没吃过苹果吗？
A nurse at an orphanage in the Philippines suffers from a cataract in her right eye, and her vision has decreased, which has hindered her ability to take care of the orphans. Thanks to her friend's suggestion, she went to Tzu Chi for help and received surgery to fix her cataract.
The photos in her cell phone are the orphan children she takes care of. Felicita is a nurse and has long treated the orphan children like her own. However, the decrease in vision in her right eye due to cataracts is stressing her out.
Because I can't see clearly, so I'm afraid they might get into an accident. So I've been very strict on them.
What's more stressful is that her youngest is going to university, and how will she come up with the money for his education?
I want to see my sons finish school, get a job, and have a family of their own.
Looking to ask Tzu Chi for help is friend Aditha's suggestion. Aditha's mother received surgery at the free clinic.
Being able to see again, she's happy. I'm also happy for her and don't have to worry about her situation anymore.
Seeing the world anew again, Felicita does not need to worry anymore, and the orphans are happy to have their kind and compassionate nurse back.
In the past few months, my temper was out there. But now I'm back to my normal patient self.
Changsha Tzu Chi volunteers walked into the Kaifu nursing home, giving care to seniors through haircuts, cutting nails, and entertaining performances. The constant care is a persistent dedication, and seniors are happy this time of month. Take a look.
The seniors waited for a month, and finally the volunteers are here. Changsha Tzu Chi volunteers make regular visits to the nursing home as they give haircuts and massages to the elderly. There are also entertainment programs for showing.
To the elderly here, let's all give in our love, and I hope that I can become friends with you.
Giving a cup of good tea to shorten the distance of one another, the elderly are treated as family members as volunteers hugged and greeted them. I hope that you may come. You can understand others, and it's amazing.
Actually, what the seniors really need our care. It's not about going back to give them money or to buy things for them. We have to do filial acts while our parents are still alive.
One cannot wait to act filial as the mother and daughter join in on this event, feeling the love for one another.
No matter what kind of kid I am, when I fail or feel proud, my mother is always there for me. I want to especially thank my mother.
We give elderly a nail cut and wash their feet. I feel happy and think it's a valuable lesson. I told my daughter that volunteers do things with detail, caring for seniors so they feel happy.
Every word spoken describes the moving feeling everyone is feeling, like a warm sun, providing warmth to everyone's hearts.
Northern District TEMA members go to Pingxi regularly to hold free clinics and provide house calls. Even though it was raining, TEMA members were still determined to treat patients in remote villages and to protect the physical and mental strength of the residents. They also provide the elders with tips of how to do exercise to strengthen their muscles.
Holding umbrellas and stepping on the water, Tzu Chi medical team came to Pingxi again to visit residents.
This is also a patch made of traditional Chinese medicine. If you put it here, it'll help your body's circulation.
Regular visits by TEMA volunteers allow the elderly to be treated in time. For the hidden worries of dementia, there are also professional nurses who can help to examine.
When some seniors want to draw a time, they can tell what time it is, but they no longer have the ability to draw.
Speaking the word what she heard is also the main point for the test.
The clinical dementia rating scale is to evaluate how the old person can complete the most basic time identification when he lives alone or with his family, including short conversation content.
After doing the mental test, they teach the elderly how to do simple exercise to protect their knee joints.
We can design some simple exercises, which can be presented in the form of videos or photos. If we want to motivate patients, we still need local volunteers to encourage them.
Tzu Chi regularly visit remote villages, providing treatment for residents' illnesses and also comforting their mind.
New drone legislation requires mandatory insurance coverage for businesses and other legal entities operating drones. Some say it is prohibitive, as many drones operate in low-density areas and are also used in agriculture and disaster relief operations. Here's more. Zhong Binghong is the first pilot in Taiwan to obtain a drone license.
Obtaining a license is not proof of how good you are. It's about knowing the regulations and the laws pertaining to drone flight.
He uses drones to spray fertilizer, saving manpower time and preventing the spread of pests.
For example, when it comes to rice blast, if you use a traditional mechanical sprayer which is not cleaned properly, it can transfer this disease to an adjacent field, which can become infected, so proliferation is very fast. Using drones can reduce this problem with proliferation problems and quickly suppresses it.
Drones are quickly revolutionizing agriculture, and Taiwan is also catching up with this technological wave.
My mindset for farming is different now. Before, I could only cultivate 1 hectare, but now I think I can plant 50 hectares.
To be a competent modern farmer, one must understand innovative new technology.
The first thing is that it is hard to hire workers now. Secondly, it's a health problem, and if we spray directly, it's not good for our body to have direct skin contact. This is not a problem with the drone.
Ordinary people can't simply fly drones as they want. They need to join an association and obtain the legal credentials to spray pesticides. The most troublesome thing is that you must apply early to receive clearance.
Today, if I took an order to spray, I must apply 15 days in advance. But some can't accept this waiting time, which can cause some problems.
For this reason, it is common to fly in secret. This is what many people are doing, as something like an open secret. The new law going into effect this year says that legal entities must take out insurance. However, for drones with a market price of $20,000 as an example, along with the mandatory liability insurance for 1 year, insurance premiums can be about $600. Compared with autos with similar market price, this insurance may be 4 times more expensive.
The place where we spray the pesticides is basically not very crowded nor dense. Basically, when we provide our service, these areas are clear of people, and if we do have an accident, we only have to compensate ourselves.
There are so many cars in Taiwan, and we have so many years of experience assessing their value and insurance risk, so we are able to infer a reasonable premium. But when it comes to the status of drones, which have only become popular in the past few years, the record and experience of such damages is relatively difficult for us to make an objective decision.
Although the premium is high, the industry is conservative and not all insurance companies are willing to launch drone insurance policies.
We have also contacted the Civil Aeronautics Administration, the FSC Insurance Bureau, and the Insurance Association to try to communicate with them.
It is really difficult when drones will hit buildings or objects, as there are too few risk data to use for reference both domestically and abroad. At present, property insurers are simply waiting to learn more.
Because civil aviation law includes drones into the scope of aircraft scope on March 31st. In the past, there were some related insurance policies with public accident insurance that could not be applied as it was an excluded item, so we must develop a product to exclusively cover the risks.
4 years ago, Mrs. Yan was walking on the street and was suddenly injured by a falling drone. At that time, there are no legal regulations and no insurance protection.
Suddenly, something threw towards her, and she was quite startled as she used her hands to block it. At that time, it was 4 propellers that cut her hand, and she got cuts around her eyes too. Drones are actually readily available, which means you can buy it everywhere. It's not an applicant that is restricted or difficult to buy. When the legislation is completed, it must be publicized and promoted.
At present, legal entities are required to have compulsory insurance, while natural persons have no such restriction. Commercial drone flights must be insured because of crowd risk, but indoor and outdoor areas have a big loophole due to different jurisdictions.
If the drone is flying indoors, even if it's a performance, there's no requirement in the civil aviation law.
Because our performance time is very short, typically lasting only 5 to 10 minutes. And our height and safety are within relatively safe measures. We usually don't need insurance for this.
Commercial drone flights include blades that have protective covers and electronic fences protecting crowds. However, there is still a need for comprehensive risk protection, with more laws and regulations ultimately needed. Chiayi's Tongren Elementary School has a small farm which grows vegetables for the school. Tzu Chi volunteers recently visited, teaching them how to grow plants in old shoes. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.